Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So we're only like 3 hours away from the big Ethereum merge, and there's a lot to talk about. Also, we had like a little bit of a Bitcoin fake out right beforehand. But you know who's watching? Not you or I, but I think Gary Gensler is watching. So let's talk about all these things and what to expect afterwards. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com and make sure you check out my other channels as well. Good evening, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got to fix that. What is going on here? All right, so there we go. So as you can see, Bitcoin is at 20,177. That's not bad. But you know, we had this little fake out this morning or this afternoon, right? Out of the blue, Bitcoin was holding around right around 20,000, and boom, it goes down to like 19.6 from out of the blue, right? Maybe the final shakeout before the merge. And then, you know, we climbed up, and then we had another little dip below 20,000. Now we're hovering above 20 again, right? So, yeah, there's definitely some volatility. I've been showing you guys the last 2 days about these Bitfinex whales causing problems. So, could be them, right? I mean, there's definitely people that's trying to take advantage of the situation, you know, because there's a lot of uneasiness right now, right before the big merge. But let's talk about Bitcoin, then let's talk about Ethereum, and then let's talk about the one person everyone loves to hate, which is Gary Gensler. So right now with this, you know, with this little fake out, you know, a couple of little fake outs, right? The important thing to remember with Bitcoin is this. Bitcoin's not going to go anywhere. You guys know I've been talking about Bitcoin for quite some time, encouraging you guys to stay strong, stay focused, and not fall for volatility, right? And you know what? There's just a lot of great things happening, including a growing fundamental. So here's a prime example of growing fundamental. I know it's cut off a little bit, but this is actually showing. Let me see if I could zoom out a little bit here. I don't know if that made any difference. This is kind of cut off. I apologize. But what this is showing is the hash rate of Bitcoin. Well, I could just move over. No, I can't. I thought I could. No, I can't move over. My bad. Technical difficulties. But what this is showing is Bitcoin's hash rate went down, and now it climbed right back up. In fact, it is at all-time high. No, sorry. Again, that's cut off. I don't like the way this page looks, but take my word for it. If you could see the right-hand side of my screen right now, it would show Bitcoin at an all-time high for hash rate. So part of the growing fundamentals, hash rate indicates that there are a lot of miners on the network. They are securing the network, and it is the most secure and the biggest decentralized network out there, and it's only getting stronger as more miners turn up more mining machines and there's more farms popping up around the world. So this kind of stuff is part of the growing fundamentals I've been talking about. Also, not just that, you know, we have a lot of Bitcoin spot ETFs, not in the US, but around the world, including Canada. And we're starting to see inflows into those funds, those ETFs, which means there's a lot of people buying, taking advantage of the dip and buying when things are low. So that's positive, very positive. And you know what? As for Bitcoin's growth, you know, right now, Bitcoin is growing approximately like twice as fast as the internet. All right, think about that. It took the internet about 8 years to hit 1 billion users. Well, Bitcoin hit 1 billion addresses in only 4 years. So think about that, right? So, I'm sorry, 4 years from 130 million. Okay, not from the beginning, because Bitcoin's obviously from the beginning. But just goes to show you how fast Bitcoin rose up to 1 billion users, you know, in approximately half the time the internet did. So even though at times it may seem like Bitcoin's not going anywhere, it's very, very slow, it's still going way faster than the internet and even going faster than mobile adoption. I had charts that showed that before. I don't have that right now. But these are reasons why you need to HODL on. And speaking of HODLing, the HODL Wave indicates that 65% of all Bitcoin has not moved within a year, right? That shows how many people are holding. And as time goes on, only more and more and more will HODL. And there'll be less and less being released. And the scarcity factor becomes a real thing. And Bitcoin's price is going to skyrocket because of it. So these are things to start out with. We'll give you a gentle reminder of Bitcoin. That's why you want to stay strong, stay focused, and do not give up and continue to HODLing and DCA. All right, now, as for the big merge, okay, approximately 3 hours from now, we will have a brand new, so this is going to carry into tomorrow, very early morning, we will have a new chain. Now, in case you're still scared, right, all the exchanges, all the major ones, including Binance, Coinbase, FTX, Bybit, and wallet makers like Trust, Ledger, they're all coming out and saying, well, basically, you don't have to worry. We will be upgrading the code, okay? So during this time, you're not going to be able to withdraw or deposit. They will shut down to upgrade the code while the chain is being merged, right? So just know that if you're holding on ETH on a major exchange or in a wallet, a major wallet, most likely you won't have to do anything and it's just going to be done. Now, if you're holding on ETH in a questionable wallet, first of all, why? And second of all, you may want to do some research with that wallet maker to make sure that they're supporting it, but almost every legitimate one will be supporting the merge. But just, do some research in case you want to double check, right? So this is coming up in 3 hours and 20 minutes. Very, very, very exciting. Of course, a lot of people making predictions. One of the co-founders, of course, Jobin Lubin, is saying, well, yes, it's going to be successful. And in his mind, this will be one of the top 3 historical crypto events ever in history. And what are the first 2? The first is the invention of Bitcoin. I'd say that's pretty big. Second is the invention of Ethereum. You could argue that's pretty big too. And the third is the Ethereum merge. So I don't know if this is really that significant. If it's right behind the invention of Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe you could argue that. But I would argue maybe DeFi, the invention of DeFi, maybe that's a little bit more historic. I don't know what his criteria was. But anyways, so a lot of people do think that this is going to be successful. It's going to be absolutely huge, right? And that is why there are a lot of whales and smart money that's been buying and buying and buying. Buying like there's no tomorrow, literally. You could see ETH millionaires and billionaires. Look at how much they're buying. On the left side there, it just keeps going upwards. And even the smart money, meaning the dolphins and sharks and whales, right? Ever since June, it's been going up, right? So definitely a ton of people buying. Despite the fact recently I showed you guys a lot of Bitfinex whales have been trying to manipulate the market, but there are definitely a lot of people that believe this is a big thing, this is a good thing, and will only help Ethereum in the future, and that's why they're buying. And I don't disagree with that. All right, so what else is there? Well, there's still talks about all these other Ethereum forks that's going to come out, right? Supposedly there's a lot of miners and just groups of people that want to take advantage, right? Does not want to move over to the new merge chain, so there will probably be 1 or 2 or a few other smaller forks that come out of this. Is that reason to worry? No. And the biggest dApps and even mining pools, like this one, Ethereum's biggest mining pool, Ethermine, will basically not support any more mining pools for Ethereum. They are not going to support any new forked chain. And like the biggest dApps like Chainlink and Aave and Compound, all these guys, they already said at USDC, they all said that they're not supporting any fork chains. They will be supporting the one and only Ethereum. So the fork change, really a non-event. If you get airdropped them somehow from the exchange or whoever, from wallet, the best thing to do is dump it. Because all these major forked ones, they usually start out strong and then they just dump to nothing. I remember Litecoin. Litecoin came out with a fork, Litecoin Cash. A lot of people were saying, yay, Litecoin Cash, and then just dumps to nothing. So you want to like dump it basically as soon as you can, if you get something. Just FYI. Same thing if you look at Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, kind of the same story. But the other major project that people are looking at that is still proof of work is Ethereum Classic. So there are a lot of people moving to Ethereum Classic. Supposedly, will this help Ethereum Classic find a niche and really continue forward? We don't know. I don't know what their roadmap is. I don't know what their future plans are. Charles Hoskinson seems to have given up on Ethereum Classic. He once upon a time, he was a big fan, not anymore, right? So even though there may be a lot of miners moving towards it, but if it's not profitable, they're just going to get off right away. So all eyes are also on something like Ethereum Classic to see if they can do something with the new mining power that they will be receiving. If not, then those miners are probably going to move away pretty quickly. So yeah, there's that. That's pretty much it. The only other thing I got to talk about, the one person that no one really loves, is this guy right here, Gary Gensler. And I bring this guy up because I think it kind of connects to what we're going through right now, which is Ethereum and the merge, right? So Gary Gensler basically talked in front of the U.S. Senate Committee on banking, housing, urban affairs, and, of course, talked about crypto. And he restates that vast majority of the 10,000 tokens in the crypto market are securities. And he is asking that all these crypto projects, right, whether or not they feel like they are decentralized or centralized, doesn't matter. He's urging everyone to go and register themselves with the SEC. Okay? Now, I bring this up with Ethereum because he has said, been on record saying, that he believes Bitcoin is the only commodity and the only non-security. And recently, he even went as far as saying, well, the CFTC could take over Bitcoin because Bitcoin's a commodity. But the CFTC doesn't want to take just Bitcoin. They want to take Bitcoin and Ethereum, and Gary doesn't seem to want to let go, right? So I don't think anything will happen near term, right? But long term, I do think Gary is plotting something devious, and it could have something to do with the Ripple lawsuit too, because Ripple is trying to use the Ethereum decision as a commodity by the SEC as a defense against what they're going through right now, right? So Gary will be watching, that's for sure. And someone like Michael Saylor has argued any chain that can make an upgrade is considered security. So does that mean that Gary's going to use that argument? Hopefully not, because Bitcoin goes through upgrades too, to be frank. So hopefully that's not a good argument to use. But yeah, got to watch out for this guy right here. All right, that is pretty much it. Bitcoin is at 20,100. Where is Ethereum? Ethereum went up a little bit. I don't have them on there. I'll just pull this up here. Ethereum started going up a little bit today, above 1,600. I think it almost hit 1,700 today. So obviously some of the selling stopped and some people started buying again. But the real question is, what will happen tomorrow after the merge? Will we get sell the news kind of event, or will we get buy the rumor, buy the news. I guess we will see when we wake up tomorrow. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. This is maybe a weird question, George. Lovely R6 is asking. But what does it matter to be a security or not? Isn't it the same either way? It's the same either way, except that now they are controlled by the SEC. And we don't want that. We don't want the SEC to be controlling Ethereum and all these other projects, right? There's going to be a lot of scrutiny if that happens, a lot of registering, a lot of auditing, all this stuff, you know, that SEC forces, you know, public traded companies to go through. It takes a lot of manpower, a lot of time, a lot of money to do. A lot of these open source projects, you know, they don't have all that manpower, time, or money to be able to kind of comply with what the SEC is looking for. So, I mean, overall, some of the big projects, if they get declared securities, they'll survive. But some, I would say most in the space will not. Just look at what the SEC is going through. I mean, what Ripple's going through with the SEC. Brad said they're going to spend $100 million to defend themselves against the SEC. You think any project can do that? Very little project has a $100 million war chest to be able to do that. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Vitalik's Twitter got hacked. No, it didn't get hacked. It's just people have figured out a way to, like this one right here. People have figured out a way to kind of mimic his name, but if you look at the @ sign, like over here, you see how it's @KB or whatever, right? So they didn't actually, they found a way to like kind of change their name and put that verification check mark. But if you see the @ you know, it indicates it's a different account. But I don't know how they got that blue check mark. Sorry, my stream just cut out a little bit. But it's okay. It's okay, I'm still here. Did I get a cyber whistle? No, because I didn't have any Doge on hand. And I didn't know that it was being sold at all. So no. I'm guessing I'm getting a little interference from Gary right now. Oh, it is DCA day. I haven't even thought about what to pick up. I pulled up the portfolio, so it's exactly the same percentage as last week, minus 44%. So it hasn't gotten any worse, hasn't gotten any better. But I did add Ethereum last week. I'm tempted to add more Ethereum because long term I'm a big believer in Ethereum. But I don't know if after tomorrow it's going to dump. I honestly don't think so. I think most of the dumping of Ethereum already happened. But you know what? I didn't think about this, to be honest. Maybe I should just buy XRP. Look at Chainlink. Chainlink and Ethereum Classic are doing good today. You know, this is a tough one. You know, when in doubt, just go with Bitcoin or Ethereum. So that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I have a pretty good makeup in this portfolio already, so I don't think I really need to add more coins. It's a pretty good makeup already. So I'm just going to stick with the big boys. You know, Bitcoin is a little bit off from 50%. So I'm going to do $50 in Bitcoin, $50 in Ethereum. I think that's you know, you can't go wrong with that. All right, this is going to be very small. $50 divided by 20,130. 0.00248. And then put $50 into Ethereum. One six one four. Oops. Wait a minute. What? Okay. My calculator is not working here. All right, there you go. $50 in Ethereum, $50 in Bitcoin. Let's see how this go. And if you guys aren't familiar, I've been doing this since last June with you guys. It's a sample portfolio. So no, I don't just have $6,000 in my portfolio. But, you know, I did this with you guys just to show you guys DCA will work over long haul. Right now, it's not looking so good, but we'll keep doing this. Put $100 every week, and we will see. We will see how fast we recover and where this will be after a year, 2, 5, 10 years if I'm still streaming. We're pretty close. We're pretty close to $1 trillion once again. The new Mustang is hideous. You know, this is funny. I was just working on that video. I put out a TikTok about it, and I said, you know, I think Ford went backwards. I actually think they made it too tame. I don't know if you guys saw the new 2024 Mustang. Lisa Boo. I keep DC and DCA, BTC. Any Phantom updates? Not really. Nothing new from Phantom recently. Nothing significant to report. But I appreciate the super chat. Appreciate your support, and keep DCAing. Do you think Charles is packing enough to keep up with Vitalik? Worried ADA may not be able to go as long as ETH. No, you know what? Charles is packing something, that's for sure. Otherwise, Cardano wouldn't be at number 8 right now. Despite not being done, you know, they're still sitting at number 8. Charles has a lot of loyal fan base. But there's a lot of developments happening too. Let's not forget, after tomorrow, 1 week from now, it's the Voxel hard fork, which could be a game changer for Cardano and bring even more dApps to the space. So I would say don't give up on them just yet. Charles is packing a Lambo. Yeah, he is. I don't know how old Charles is. He might be even like younger than me. I don't actually quite know how old Charles Hoskinson is. You know what? I'm going to look that up. Charles Hoskinson age. Wow. Charles is only 34 years old? Jeez. I knew he was young, but he looks like he's like 50-something, right? Wow, Charles is significantly younger than me. That's a shock. That's a real shock. Okay, I'm taken back by that because, yeah, let's just put it that way. He looks like he's mid-50s. He talks like he's in mid-50s, but he's only 34. Man, he's a young fellow. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking about that. I thought he was in his 50s. But then I knew because he started Ethereum with Vitalik, so he can't possibly be that old, right? Man, he's not even late 30s. Are there any updates on Celsius? Unfortunately, no. I mean, they're still in bankruptcy hearing. They're going to run out of money by the end of the year. I don't know if they're going to auction off their assets. I don't know when it's going to happen. Nothing. I haven't heard anything about Voyager. They had their auction recently. I haven't heard any news about who bought their assets, if anyone bought their assets. All that time in tech can't be good for the looks. I guess not. Well, Asians do age better. I gotta say. I don't know. I will say this. I won't say how old I am, but I am much older than Charles. And I think I look younger than him. I don't know. You guys tell me. Maybe not. Are we streaming until the merge? No, I'm not going to be streaming for 3 hours. Approximately 3 hours. It may speed up, but it looks like it's going to be after today. It'll be tomorrow. We got a little more down pressure right now. I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of whales that's really trying to drive things lower right now. I think, I don't know. It could just be a big fake out, because obviously we had a sell off recently. A lot of fear. Does seem like a lot of whales are trying to kind of scare people into selling right now. But the important thing to remember is Bitcoin's fundamentals has not changed, stronger than ever, and the global market cap is still near $1 trillion, which is way better than where we were just a week ago. So, putting things into perspective, we're not all that bad. Oh, man. I hope I don't look 45. That sucks. Well, what super chat I missed? I'm scrolling up. I didn't miss any super chats. Johnny, I'm sorry. Those all disappeared, man. That's why you should not be sending super chats during DCA. These super chats disappear really quick based on how many people are sending messages. I apologize. If I missed it, then rewrite it. Did you see the Charles video to choose Ergo as the only proof of work of the future? Ergo pre-merge pumping, by the way. You know what? I did not see that video. I know Charles is very fond of Ergo because he's fond of the founder, right? As for, Ergo is supposed to be a whole DeFi ecosystem, really. Has a lot of connections with Cardano, but doesn't necessarily depend on Cardano. Yeah, I don't know how I think about Ergo. A lot of miners can move to it. So right now, yeah, there is a significant pump, but they're still way off from their previous high. Yeah, way, way off. So we'll see. We'll see if this could last, if this is just a pre-merge pump, or if it's gaining momentum again. Max says, I'm 52 and look 20 younger than me. So you think you look 32 is what you're saying? Dan, I hope ETH goes down further so I can buy more. In this rare case, the whales are more useful than bad. Well, that's one way to look at it. I saw Helium voters are 80% in favor to move to Solana. You have to admit, this confidence says something about Sol's stability improvement. No, not really. Keep in mind, you got to dig in. Helium themselves can control like over 50% of the voters. This is what happened to Luna. So don't fall for it. I don't know exactly, but Luna, there was this big proposal about forking, right? And no one in Man, I keep getting cut. I don't know if it's Gary or the XRP Army. Someone's after me today. But Joe Lamas, to answer you, hopefully you caught most of that. Helium might own more than 50% of the votes. So don't think that the community all voted for it. Do some research into that. Johnny 5. It's been a week's ride since I started crypto. My venture. How will staking generate yield? It generates yield because there's inflation. Because they have inflation. They produce more, to give out to the stakers that are securing the network. Just like mining right now. right? But the number that they give out will be a lot less than before, 90% less. So that's why with the burning and with DeFi staking, basically it becomes deflationary. What people don't know is this stream runs on Solana. I'm just joking. Take a look at Ethereum Classic. Is it pre-pumping right now? I mean, it's up 5%. It's not pumping that much. No, actually, Ethereum Classic is dumping right now. Man, it went from positive 4% to minus 3%. Yeah, you know. So hopefully Ergo, because I just checked Ergo is like up 20%. Hopefully it doesn't happen to them too. But, you know, I've told you guys, just like all these pumps, you know, like the Celsius short squeeze, the Luna, you know, short squeeze, and all this, you know, Luna Classic short squeeze, all these, sometimes these pumps are just pumps by whales and market makers. You know, they're just trying to get people to FOMO in, right? So be careful with them. Sometimes you just got to use logic. And a lot of these pre-pumps, pre-merge pumps, you know, for some of these proof of work chains, a lot of people think, oh, yeah, all the miners go move to it and it's just going to be great and it's pumping. You know, you got to be careful. Even them are being manipulated right now, I think, also, right? But at least these projects are somewhat legit. So sometimes you just gotta use some common sense and not fall for the FOMO. Look at the futures for tomorrow. Don't scare me. Futures tomorrow's look good. Tesla struggles with Elon Musk's strict return to office policy. Yeah, I don't think Tesla's struggling at all. Just this clickbait article right there. Let's see. Prediction for Cardano. I think wait for the fossil to happen. I think the good things will happen afterwards. But after the merge, the next one that could be a candidate for some upwards momentum could be Cardano because of the hard fork coming up. Daxion, I think that's right. Thrills FN, no problem. It took me a year to fight off FOMO. I'm free now, DCA in the red. Good. FOMO is hard to overcome. I mean, even sometimes I like to fall for FOMO. You know, when something's doing really good, especially a project you believe in, right? You want to believe that the FOMO is real, but sometimes just, you know, it's nothing more than a whale pump. The best time to be buying is when things are low. That's how wealth is generated. How people make true money is by buying low and selling high. Buying when others are fearful. When others are saying, I call it quits, they are buying. And there's a lot of metrics that show that is happening right now. I do love a good hard fork. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Yeah, Marco. I'm not go or Macro. I'm not gonna be live streaming for the ETH merge. Is there a thing as a soft fork? There is actually. It's not just a hard fork. Soft fork is actually bad. Hard forks are good. I have no idea why PHB had a huge pump, Dan. Sorry, I don't even know what project that is. PHB. Phoenix Global? Why would you be even looking at that? That just sounds wrong. Don't know. Ralph asked, don't know if I should buy a Tesla Model Y now or wait for the Mercedes-Benz E models. You know, they have the EQs already. You could look at those EQs. They don't look all that great, but the inside, definitely much better than the Tesla's inside. Model Y has been going up in price. You know, Tesla's been hiking up the price, I think, too much so. Now you're looking at 70s to 80s for Model Y, which I think is just too much for that car. You know, when I got mine in the 50s, that was a bargain. And I said, for that price range, you can find a better, you know, compact SUV. But now that it's in like the 70s and 80s, that's a tough market. Charles purposely wanted to look old because he wants to look like Satoshi. I still can't get over the fact that Charles is only like 34 or 35 years old. I can't. That doesn't compute in my head. I don't know how that's possible. Yeah. Anyways, you know, I'll let you guys go. Overall, the merge is about to happen in less than 3 hours. So by the time we wake up tomorrow and show up to my stream at 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, we'll know if it was successful, if we have a pump, a dump, or something else, right? Exciting time. So let's see what happens tomorrow, and we'll go from there. All right? Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.